All right, so where we left off was agriculture's contributions. So, agriculture's contributions are many. They're actually basically, we owe everything we have today, where we are today, to the advent of agriculture. So, because of agriculture, remember, we were allowed to have specialized tasks. So, we see art, the rise of literature, new technologies, all this cool new technology that allows us to have an online class is due to agriculture. So, it's where we are today, which I rather like. I like new technologies. I enjoy art, literature. Pretty happy with agriculture. However, agriculture did have some drawbacks as well. And your book goes over these, so I'll go over them very, very briefly. We have population growth, biological changes, and environmental degradation. So, with population growth, there was several things that happen. One, we see an increase in violence. And this isn't to say that before agriculture everyone was hugging and laughing and it was just wonderful Care Bear type stuff. There was violence before, but now with population growth, with people being in one place, we see large scale warfare. Other things that happen with agriculture, we see crowded areas lead to a decrease in sanitation. And this decrease in sanitation allows housing for pathogens, for bacteria and viruses, basically things that get us sick to really flourish. And not only do we give it room to flourish, this, these pathogens can now spread rapidly if they infect one person because everyone's pretty much living right next to each other. So there's a lot of interpersonal contact. So when one person gets sick, many people get sick. Last thing I want to talk about, which is interesting, is malnutrition. Malnutrition is an interesting side effect of agriculture because with agriculture, we have food surplus, right? So, how's there malnutrition? Well, there are two main reasons I want to talk about. One, with agriculture, what happens a lot of times is populations start growing one type of food. One type of food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, such as in the case in the Americas with the domestication of maize. Maize was used for everything. Now, the problem with one type of food is that it gives you a lot of one nutrient but deprives you of other nutrients. So, an individual can be eating quite well, but not, for instance, again, in the cases of the Americas, not be getting enough iron and experience anemia. Another reason malnutrition comes with agriculture is remember, hierarchy starts with agriculture. So, it's food surplus, but this food surplus is also being controlled by a select few. And this few can control some people getting more of this food surplus, some people getting less. So, despite there being a lot of food, some individuals do not have access to this food. Biological changes. And again, your book goes over this rather well. We see a decrease in face size. We see the misalignment of teeth as our jaws start getting smaller and smaller. And we start seeing more caries or cavities. Now, more caries and cavities are not due to the face shrinking. However, they are due to an increase in carbohydrate-filled diets, which we see with agriculture. Other changes that we see are changes to bone strength as it decreases. Since agriculture, we have become daintier and daintier. And the shift on parts of the body that are being used continuously lead to injuries such as spine injuries. Now, I'm not aware if you know what a normal spine is supposed to look like, but these vertebrae are usually separated by a disc and you're allowed to move it around. What's happened to this individual because of repeated work, repeated stress on the back? These discs have long since disintegrated. This bone and bone contact has caused fusing, what we call osteoarthritis, or actually in the case of the spine, we call osteophytosis. And your book also talks about this is environmental degradation, which overusing of land caused erosion. We've discovered that we can use wood for fuel, so we've destroyed a lot of vegetations. We also discovered we could use wood to build housing. So we basically humans settling in one place and spreading out has caused some detriments to the environment, large amounts of waste, and as we start to destroy the habitats of other species by expanding our own, we've caused their extinction, along with overhunting those species. So then why agriculture? well, again, I refer you to your book. All right, have a good day.